sisibihan. One of the most satisfying things for a public servant is to see the policies and reforms that he or she institutes sustained and continued, even developed by her successor. The Child and Family Summit was one of the very first things we did when I assumed the MTRCB chairmanship almost 3 years ago, and I'm very happy to see that my immediate predecessor, Attorney Eugenio Toto Villarreal, has seen fit to continue it and, in fact, has improved it tenfold. May mga seminar kayo ngayon. Tapos dati, gano'n kami magaling na violinist ngayon. May mga singers pa ng mga bata.
Dati violinist.
Talagang pinaganda pa niya lalo. It is my fervent hope that the Child and Family Summit will become institutionalized and will eventually become a regular venue where MTRCB officials and industry stakeholders can meet to discuss how best we can safeguard the interests of the viewing public, most especially the young ones. Likewise, I am glad that most of the policy reforms we initiated in MTRCB remain in place. Back in the day when the MTRCB took on its self-appointed role as the guardian of public morals, the policy thrust then was censorship. And under past heads, the agency wielded its censorship powers quite consistently. I recall that the board then had earned the moniker Board of Censors for its propensity to give an X rating to any film it finds too risky or offensive. And I also remember that film directors often complain that MTRCB is limiting or intruding into their artistic freedom of expression. When I took over the MTRCB more than 2 years ago, I knew that the old ways of doing business at the MTRCB had to change. Both parents of mine are obviously from show business, and so I was very apprehensive and hesitant initially when I had been considered for the position. But then it's, in any case, you always hope to make an improvement. The agency has to learn to be proactive and progressive if it wants to continue to be relevant in the day and age. Thus, during my 2 years at the helm of the MTRCB, we did not only reform the classification system for movies and television, but more importantly, modified our policy thrust from that of censorship to that of intelligent media viewership. This paradigm shift from censorship to intelligent viewership relegated MTRCB to the role of enabler, instead of the rather pompous and self-important title Guardian of Public Morals. The aim now is not to regulate media content, but rather to give Filipino viewers the correct information in order for them to make the right choice. Today, MTRCB functions more as an enabler rather than a regulator, in the sense that it enables parents through its classification system to steer their children towards age-appropriate TV programs and movies, rather than acting as a board of censors that regulates what the public can or cannot watch. Much has already been said about the power of movies and television, not only to entertain but also to educate and enlighten. Today, media has become so powerful that it practically dominates every aspect of our lives. Media influences the way we see the world and shapes our beliefs and attitudes and values. Indeed, media has the power to create and also destroy our long-held morals and cherished Filipino values. The theme, Matalinong Panonood sa Tahanan ni Juan at Juana, kay Attorney Toto yan, Chairman Toto, captures exactly the essence of what MTRCB is trying to accomplish, which is to guide and to provide ordinary viewers, the everyday Juan at Juana, with the proper tools and means towards intelligent viewership. Under the tenets of intelligent viewership, the responsibility of ensuring that children watch movies and TV programs that are appropriate for their age now lie with the parents and or guardians, not just the state. The state, as represented by the MTRCB, merely acts as an enabler that will provide proper information as to the content so as to enable them to make the right or the intelligent decision. Ultimately, the key ingredient to intelligent viewership is strong parental supervision. As the regulatory agency in charge of reviewing and classifying content, MTRCB performs an immeasurable role in our society by acting as a filter through which all movies and TV programs are rated. It used to be that as a parent, all you had to do was to check whether the movie or television program your children are watching is appropriate for their age. In fact, my parents didn't really wonder too much about that even. But with the advent of the internet age, controlling what our children are exposed to just got infinitely difficult with all the plethora of gadgets and gizmos available in the market today. Nowadays, parents have to be savvy or techie to be able to successfully supervise, monitor what their children would like to see or hear. So as a mother of 3 young kids, I had to learn the words like firewall, filter, blocking software, safe mode, and nanny internet. I am perhaps luckier than most parents here because my husband is an IT professional and he knows how to make the screenings for our kids, but it's still not perfect. According to a study conducted by McCann Erickson, more and more of our children are becoming connected and are getting used to what is called the new media. The study found that the top leisure activities for teens after school remains to be traditional media, that is watching TV and listening to the radio. However, more and more young people are becoming more connected to new media and are deriving their entertainment from the internet and other techie products. Another study claimed that 74% of Filipinos now have internet access, with the greatest majority of users comprising of the young population. In fact, many experts have predicted that in the near future, Filipinos will be getting their entertainment more from new media rather than the traditional media. Some of the reasons being cited for the growing popularity of new media is number 1, it is free. Number 2, it is convenient because you can watch what you want when you want at the privacy of your home. iwanttv.com.ph. Anyway, so it is therefore even more necessary now. It is more important now to push for self-regulation. Because even if we don't regulate the internet, parents will find it useful to be involved now with what their children do so that they can monitor exactly what's happening in their lives. So I'm sure you're also curious to know before I close what I will be doing now in the Senate. For you. Well, no, not for you, for the parents. Number 1, I will push for the amendment of some of the provisions in the MTRCB to change it with regards to the board composition. Instead of having 15 members may come from the movie or TV industries, I think we should change it to 15 members shall come from the movie and TV industries so that it will be easier for them to understand also the plight of people from the networks and also from the movie industry. Second, we'll study the issue once and for all of the sinking fund of the MTRCB. It's always been, I know that you're doing something, but I think that you should have more flexibility so that you can conduct more public information seminars. Number 3, we should push for a classification that is all over the Philippines and not just Filipino or English. The dialect should be, especially now that we have the K-12 program, and we are giving instructions to our younger kids in the mother tongue, meaning their dialects. We can do this together with institutionalizing the classification. Because whether we like it or not, the MTRCB is supposed to be a temporary body until we are able to awaken our audience into accepting their role as the ones that will regulate what they're viewing and what their children are viewing. So again, in my new job now, I am approaching it also as a parent. You can't be too strict, you can't be too restrictive, you will stunt the growth of your children. But what you need to do is to continue your dialogue, listen to their side, but always stand firm of what you think are the core values or the most important things that you need to uphold. When I started in the MTRCB in closing, I remember BM Kids Musli gave me a pillowcase. And that pillowcase had a print on it that said, the hardest job I ever had to do was not that of being a president, but that job of being a parent. And that's by Bill Clinton.
Wow.
Isa lang ang anak niya, nahirapan pa siya. Ang average ng mga Pilipino, 3 anak natin at higit pa paminsan-minsan. So yun lamang po, pero nais kong pasalamatan unang-una ang ating masipag at magaling na chairman na nakadagdag talaga sa pagiging mahusay ng MTRCB. Ang mga nakasama ko dati sa trabaho rin dito, tumulong sa atin, si Chairman Mag Cruz Hatol, Chairman ng National Council for Security. At nandito rin po si Attorney Eric Henry Joseph F. Malyonga. Ba't nandito siya sa lista? But child advocate and MTRCB board member. Siyempre si Kuya Germs, na kaibigan ng ating mga magulang. Julius and Thinking Babaw, who took time out talaga kasi they're really committed to their children and their family life. Thank you very much.